Well, Moses, some regional ladies doing very well at the Sask Scotties.
Yeah, you know what? It was a great foursome for them, of course. Jill Shumay from the Maidstone Curling Club against Stephanie Lawton, who was the runner-up for the last two provincial Scotties. So to the highlights, second end, Lawton up 1. Shumay facing 4. The hit and roll would give Lawton a steal of 2. It's now 3-0. Final shot of the third end, Shumay looking for the double takeout to score the deuce, and she gets it to pull within 1. Now 4-2 Lawton in the fifth. She tries to raise off her own stone with shot rock, but the line is off, and Shumay makes her pay dearly with a score of 4 as she splits her stone here ever so slightly. Shumay takes the lead for the first time, up 6-4. Next end, Lawton, last shot is a tap back for a point, cutting the deficit in half. To the seventh, Shumay gives 1 back. A hit and roll gives Lawton a steal of 1, and we're tied up at 6s. So back and forth we go. Shumay, 3 in the 8th, and she needs a draw to the 4-foot, rolling in for this single to retake the lead, 7-6. Lawton going for the hit and stick for 2, but another costly mistake for her as her shooter rolls out, only scoring 1 heading into the 10th, where Lawton has shot rock, lying 1. She puts it in the house, meaning all Jill Shumay needs to do is hit and stick for the win. Jill Shumay takes it 8-7 to advance to her first national championship. As for Lawton, more heartbreak, losing for the 3rd consecutive time at a provincial final. But what can you say about the play from Shumay and her team throughout the tournament? Hours before the final day, in fact, Shumay tweeted that she was feeling green today and followed it up with a hashtag #GoTime, another hashtag saying bridesmaid no more. Well, it's truly the fact. She will head to Kingston, Ontario to represent Saskatchewan at the Scotties. All right, moving to hockey, still fighting for their playoff lives. The Lloydminster Bobcats needed something close to a miracle to get into the playoffs. Over the weekend, they took on the Spruce Grove Saints. So to the first period, Lyndon Springer, he'll keep the puck in play. He comes right back to him, at the blue line. He fires a rocket past Nathan Park. Cats up 1-0. Power play 10 minutes later. It's Springer again. He fakes from the point. Dustin LeBrun, he'll finish off the passing play. 2-0 for the Cats after 1 period. They would get more goals in the third from Eric Therrien and Kevin Walls, while Devin Green stopped all 17 Saints shots. 4-0 Bobcats was the final. Now with the loss, the Saints are just 4 points up on the Whitecourt Wolverines in Bonnyville Pontiacs for that spot. Devin Green has now won his last 5 starts and has just allowed 9 goals in those appearances. The Cats play their next game at home on Wednesday night against Whitecourt. Meanwhile, the Bonnyville Pontiacs weren't able to take advantage of that Saints loss as they fell to the Crusaders 3-1. There are now 6 teams within 6 points of each other in the north. The Ponts are at home tomorrow night against that same Whitecourt team. It was an up-and-down weekend for Rustler athletics. The basketball teams were at home for back-to-back games. We'll start off with the men's basketball team. They swept their weekend series against the ACAC's worst team, Grand Prairie, cruising to a 92-70 win. Kadeem Willis was in beast mode. 40 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 7 steals. Yeah, one heck of a stat line. The Rustlers sit 9th in the ACAC standings. Meanwhile, the women moved into 6th in the standings with a 67 win over the Wolves. Amanda Carlton was on a tear, scoring 31 points to go along with her 12 rebounds and 2 blocks. The Lakeland Rustlers women's volleyball team followed up Friday's shocking loss in Grand Prairie with another defeat to the Wolves. The women were swept for the first time this year, losing in straight sets on Saturday. The women are now in a tie for 2nd in the ACAC standings with Grant McEwen. The men also failed to gain any ground this weekend, playing a weak Grand Prairie team. In fact, the Wolves jumped over the Rustlers with a pair of wins in the standings. The men are tied for 10th in the ACAC.